Mr. Mike Shapot, how are you, sir?
Good to see you.
Good to see
and
you.
I shook hands.
Oh, that's right. That's odd. Oh my God.
Special
You want to
occasion.
go wash him up? Or what's going on?
All good. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you.
God, it was the last time we were together. What game was it? Or
Let's not talk about games. It hasn't been a good year for our teams.
that's right. It's been for your teams.
Well,
mine too. Giants suck too, just as bad as the Jets. And then your Nets. Oh my God. Man, it's so bad
rough.
that I made a Knicks fan out of me. What else going on? Been back and forth to Utah. Yeah.
Yes, I got back Saturday. So
Nice.
yesterday I recovered, so I could be here this morning. Spending as much time as I can out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
You enjoy it there, right?
It's fantastic. The wintertime, it's the best skiing in the world.
I can't believe you're still skiing. That's awesome.
I mean, I'm not that old.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just, But you didn't lose interest in it.
I love to ski. And then in the summertime, it's mountain biking, it's golf, it's hiking. I swim probably 3 times a week. It's an outdoors heaven.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
And
The weather is perfect in the summer.
who migrates there? Who's?
Park City, especially, is a vacationers town.
Okay.
So it's lots of part-time people like me, and then when you start part-time, people become full-time.
Interesting.
And it's again, the weather in the summertime is perfect. It's hot during the day, cool in the evening, and bone dry. And because it's bone dry, no humidity in the summer, and in the winter, the snow is light and fluffy. It's not heavy.
It's not heavy snow.
Yeah.
How much snow did they get?
I can't tell you inches wise, but it's
Is it a lot? Or?
yeah, a
Oh,
ton.
it is. So it is, it's probably, and they get it constantly, right?
All winter long.
It's just
It's
nonstop.
the best snow in the world because it's light and fluffy. It's
Really?
what you want. It's what you want.
But you ever go out to Aspen, or how would
I've-
you compare it to?
It compares to nothing because
Really?
because of the light, fluffy powder. It's
Just easier.
it's different.
Yeah.
You go and you hit a mogul and the snow flies in your face. It's just thrilling, in a way that, especially in the East, it's
Gonna make me want to start skiing again. Jeez. Last time I went, I tore my ACL. So, somebody screamed off the lift.
Well, I will say this. I do not ski nearly as aggressively as I used to. I just love it, and I don't want to get hurt. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I can imagine. A Black Diamond there compared to here is probably two different
Black
levels.
Diamond is Black Diamond, but here Black Diamond is icy.
That's what I was going to say. It's bumpy and icy compared to there. Where
There it's not.
Not right.
And it's just a pleasure.
That's awesome. I got to get down there. Really do. I
Let me
told
know
you that
when.
last year. I got to get there, but I really do. I want to go there bad. I might go out there this year with you. I might take you up and go to a hockey game.
They've got the new hockey team,
Yeah.
Salt Lake City.
I heard it's really nice. It's a really good experience because the guy that sits next to me at the Garden, Greg, they're into buying sports teams, and I think they own that team. They're one of the owners there. And it was really interesting because that's a dry town, right?
No,
Oh, which one's a dry town?
it used to be.
It used to be dry. Okay.
but no more.
But the interesting comparison was he said they sell more in ice cream than they do in alcohol.
Really?
Yeah.
At the
Utah.
arena.
For the Jazz and for the hockey team, yeah. I found that to be interesting when he was telling me that.
Interesting is right.
I thought it was still a dry town. That's why, for some reason, it's not.
It's not. I've been to a couple of Jazz games.
Said it's loud, right?
It's like any stadium. There's something hometownish and amateurish it feels good, as opposed to you go to the Garden. It's
and tie,
pinstripe.
yeah.
It's pinstripe. It's fancy. This is
Just
very
a sports team. It's a game. Yeah, we were like that in Dallas. We went down. Erica and I went when we went to Mega Leadership Camp. We went to the Dallas Stars game. I thought the Garden was rocking at its prime. Oh my God, that place was pumping from start to finish. Sort of like Vegas. If you ever went to a Vegas game, it's just like they're always entertaining you. Where I guess the Garden doesn't have to do that. I don't mean to sound cocky and arrogant being a Ranger fan.
I don't go to the Garden anymore.
I know you don't like the Garden. That's right. But we'll get down to talk about you in a second here. The Garden, my experience with the Garden back in the day, I'll never forget this. I said, I was thinking about dropping my tickets. And they said, we don't need your business. We're the New York Rangers. And I dropped the seats. A couple of years later, I called for those seats back. And I'm like, dude, we told you, we're the Rangers. Those things are gone. So I dropped my seats this year. And I went up into the suite level, the Madison Club. So we got couple of seats there, a few seats there. And I was talking to my rep just before you jumped into my car, and one of the things I asked him was, did my seats sell on the lower bowl? And he said the minute you dropped them, the next minute picked them up. Yeah, so I was like, wow. And it was my next door neighbor, so I was like, so the guy went from 2 to 5.
Interesting.
Yeah, really interesting, yeah. So,
in terms of seats, I've had my Jet seats for 40 plus years.
You have the best seats for the Jets.
And I move around my seats for the Nets. I have fewer games every year. I move more to the center and lower.
Well, we had good seats when we had that one year.
They were great.
They were awesome seats.
But I'm now on the opposite side of the court. I'm very close to center court.
Really? And that's in the other club?
No club. No club.
Oh, no
this
club.
Year.
Okay.
I decided that was money I didn't want to spend.
Okay.
And so I'll bring a sandwich with me.
When we first started.
I'll go buy at the concession stand. I'll buy a hot dog or a sandwich. I'm not.
What was that? The first game we ever went to after COVID. Remember that? Where
Yes.
They had the box food for the club fan. The bag of chips. It's so funny.
Make do.
We did. We had fun. We left. There was not too many people in the building either. That was pretty nice.
It's very cool.
It was really nice. Yeah. So let's get down to it. Mike, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Forest Hills, outside of Manhattan, in Queens.
Okay.
But I always considered myself a Manhattan guy. I went to high school in Manhattan.
Where'd you go to high school?
Stuyvesant.
Okay.
Peaked in high school. It's been downhill ever since. I went to law school in D.C., returned to New York.
Where in D.C.?
GW.
GW. Okay, I was going to say that.
I practiced for about 5 years, and that.
Why didn't you stay local or go to yeshiva?
I thought
NYU?
well, first of all, GW was
It's a good school. It's a great school.
It's a great school, especially for law because you're in Washington D.C.
Right, yeah.
And there's always something special about going away.
Sure.
To college, to law school, to graduate school, and then I returned immediately upon graduation. Practiced for about 5 years.
Where'd you go to college?
University of Rochester.
Rochester, okay. You studied law there?
I was an economics major.
Oh, wow, okay.
Again, so it's nobody wakes up and says, I want to be a real estate broker.
No.
Right?
I was saying that the other day.
But the skill set you develop along the way in your various
careers
helps you and positions you for success in as a broker.
Interesting.
If
you studied law in college, you think you would have still went to the law school?
I would have.
You would have?
I'm glad I went to law school.
Okay.
It's funny. One of my sons asked me, so Dad, were you a good lawyer? Like, why would somebody who's a practicing lawyer become a real estate broker? And the response that I gave him was, I wasn't passionate about
Makes sense.
being a lawyer. I did not want to dot somebody else's I's and cross somebody else's T's. I'd rather be at the business end of a deal and then have a lawyer paper it up.
And you have any understanding what they're papering.
And I have a big picture understanding of what's going on. I bring sort of a businessman's mindset
to law.
to the practice of real estate. I can read well. I can write well. I mean, so the practice of law really trained me to be a good businessman.
So, you know what Frank says that, Sparacino.
Yep.
Says the same exact thing.
Joe as well.
Joe DeVito does too, yeah. Says the same thing, that Yeah, there's a few years that were out there that did that. It was interesting. I was just saying, I would love to go back to go to law school, just to do it. And every time I lose, I'm not doing it. It's just, it doesn't make sense. Because I'll just end up wanting to be a broker again. So.
Again, the education is great. The practice of it was great. The knowledge that I got, the way to deal with people. But I felt as if I was going to war every day. And
What kind of law did you practice?
I worked for the last remaining solo general practitioner in Manhattan.
Wow.
So I got people divorced. I did some simple corporate work. I did some slip and fall personal injury work. I did a ton of residential real estate work.
Interesting.
Our major client was a third-party relocation company. I did all of their closings in the 5 boroughs. So I must have done about 75 residential closings a year.
When was this? You remember what year it was back then?
Yes, between
'Cause I used to do a lot of-
1981 and 1986
So
or
we
87.
didn't work together then.
I also wrote co-op and condo offering plans.
Interesting.
So, again, I had a varied experience, but I realized early on that the minutia wasn't where I did my best work.
So when did that actually happen for you, where you said, you know what, I'm done?
I
Let's go.
transitioned in about 1987, 1988.
That early. That's interesting
and,
too.
and
I thought it was later. I thought it was in the 90s.
nope, it was in the 80s.
Okay.
I hung out my own shingle. I called the relocation companies and I said, I'm now a broker. You know how I do my business, and they were thrilled to have me. And I think the hardest part of being a residential real estate broker is making your phone ring. I had instant business
Because of the reloads.
because of the reloads.
So I did it too. What were we making back then? When you started, what was it, like 38%?
Oh, because there were referral
Yeah.
fees back to the companies?
Correct.
Actually, it was 75%.
Oh, wow.
And then
Back then it was that much.
I was making 75%.
Oh,
I was
you were
giving
making-
25%
Oh, okay.
referral fees.
Okay, I thought it was the other
And
way.
in fact, I'll take it a step further. When I first started, there were no referral fees. When I first started,
That's, wow.
the companies made their money by charging the corporations.
Yes,
And then they decided to make their monies
on the brokers.
off the brokers, and they started charging referral fees. It started being
I'm sure they
20%,
had the companies too.
and then more and more and more.
Because I was paying 37 when I was doing the reloads, and we were doing like 30 a year. Interesting
And
concept.
it's labor intensive.
That's right.
The paperwork was
It's like doing an REO.
really
That's what it
over
was.
the top.
That's right. And now you got buyers. These companies giving buyer leads out for 35%, 40%. Back then, I remember agents, bitching at me. You're giving 38% for a referral for a listing, and to me, well, everything that came off of it was yours.
That's right.
What'd you care?
Um,
Made total sense.
it reached the point though where it didn't make sense because for various reasons. Also, the business moved from sales to buyers and renters, and having to pay a referral fee on a renter.
Yeah,
Made
that's
me
a little
scratch my
tough.
head.
Yeah.
And then finally, the business changed where the corporate transferee was given a lump sum, and they wanted to do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt like I was competing with
Every day,
the
yeah.
client themselves,
That's right.
and that just wasn't
Wasn't
a
working.
comfortable way to be.
I found it was interesting when I lost my referral world and when I was doing it, when I just gave it up, was I felt that the referral companies, and I don't necessarily believe this to be true, I just saw it going that way where they wanted you to answer to the referral company more than answering to the client. And they wanted to, if anything was bad, they wanted them to know first, and they wanted to give me the okay to tell the client. And I couldn't agree with that. I always went to the client first, and me and the referral companies did that because of that. where we went at it because I would give the bad news to the client, and the referral company would get pissed off at me. Finally, ended up losing. I can't even remember the company I was with, but we got into it over it, and the client actually took my side. But at the end of the day, I lost all my referrals. But it was, in my opinion, it was worth it because right after that, it started going haywire anyway. Where it was just not, doing as well.
It's funny. Business goes in weird ways.
Right.
I went from corporate relocation to doing a ton of REO work.
Oh, so you did? Yeah, same as, okay.
It's a natural transition. Sure. It's corporate-owned properties. It's dealing with not so much the emotions of a sale, because this is an asset that needs to be marketed, merchandised, and sold. And you don't have to worry about somebody saying, I've got 3-inch nails, not 2-inch nails. Right. I've got the beautiful finishes. Nobody cares about that. It's strictly business and
right.
moving it quickly for top dollar and move on to the next one.
Right. Did you work with Equator and all of that? Were you around for the Equator system when you were putting everything in Equator, or was that before?
I was before.
Okay. So you were dealing, I guess, directly with the asset managers, or?
Dealing with the asset managers.
Okay. That must have been a lot easier than what we had to go through with dealing with Equator. Oh, half a dozen, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
And I felt as if it was great business. Again, my phone rang immediately and often. But I felt that my skills, my emotional intelligence was not being taken advantage of. My secret sauce is being able to work with people and understanding their unique needs. And this was every property is a piece of merchandise to be sold, and there was no emotion involved. It was strictly business.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me. It's a good point. Kind of reminded me, and I said this to Eddie Lee when we were doing this. Remind me of like a commercial deal, in some way. Where it wasn't emotional. It was just it was basically you break it down to the numbers, and that was it.
Dollars per square foot. How long is it going to take?
That's right.
What do you need? Back in the day, when properties were empty, we didn't call it staging. We called it home prep. And it was strictly move everything out, paint it, clean it, either redo floors or replace carpeting, and sell something empty.
Did you winterize the houses back then?
Oh, winterizing, of course. I had one freeze up.
You did?
Do you ever have freeze up?
Of course, yeah, we had one big.
Learned my lesson. The plumber didn't do the right job, and it was a nightmare.
We had a freeze up, Mike. Dr. Krantz's house, I'll never forget it. And they used to say it was haunted, this house. And you could look up the history of it. I'll tell you later off the air, but it was interesting. We had 1 million gallons of water go through it.
1 million gallons?
1 million gallons of water before anybody caught it. And it was during that big ice storm. We were in New Orleans for a family reunion. All of us were there. And everything was winterized. No, it wasn't. It's just, it was bad. It was the water when Eddie went the next day, like when we got back. So a little water's trickling. It was an upside down house. So the kitchen, baths, and everything were downstairs. And upstairs was, it was the bedrooms and everything downstairs. And the kitchen and everything was on the second floor. And he got in and he said it was like a pool. The whole downstairs was covered with water, like all the way up to the first floor landing. It was bad. Imagine 1 million gallons of water going. I'm sitting there going, why didn't the water company alert you? Imagine that. So
those were the days. I mean, they didn't have that technology.
It just wasn't there. It was insane. But okay, so where did you start out? When you, if you don't mind me asking, when you switched over to real estate, what was that like?
One day I'm a lawyer. The next day I had my own real estate company.
Your own real estate company.
My own real estate company. I realized early on that a name brand, a national brand, was really important when you're doing relocation work. Nobody ever heard of Real Tech Relocation was the name of my company. So I affiliated myself back then with Coldwell Banker in Manhattan.
Okay.
And because the name Coldwell Banker meant something, not so much in Manhattan, but it meant something throughout the country. And those were my clients, people relocating to New York. I went from Coldwell.
And then vice versa, obviously, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I went from CB to Elliman. I went from Elliman to Keller.
So what years were you at CB in the 90s, I'm assuming?
Yes, in the 90s. Probably until 98, 99.
Okay.
And then I was at Elliman. I moved from Elliman to Keller.
So what, we were talking earlier, like, what was it like, especially in the beginning, going from a traditional real estate company, especially back then? Like, what's going through your mind when you're at Element and CB, Coldwell Banker and your own, and you're going from that 50-50 split, and later on maybe a little higher, but probably not still. And then all of a sudden you hear about Keller Williams and a cap model coming out where we're going to share our profit share, and it's basically 70-30 franchise fee, and you're capped out. What is that going through your head, like especially in New York City? Because I was supposed to be part of that group coming in, and I didn't get involved. I was kicking myself, and then later on I was happy. But what was that like hearing a cap model compared to?
Who wouldn't want a cap model? It's for an entrepreneur. And I was, and I am, a businessman. So there's an opportunity to make more money. But that's not really what attracted me.
Of course not. Yep.
What attracted me to KW was A, the national presence, B, the education. I'm always learning.
Matter of fact, what are you doing after this?
I'm teaching.
Exactly. In Woodbury.
But more important was the ability to make decisions on my own as a businessman. So at Element, I'm a creative, out-of-the-box thinker. If I wanted to send my own postcard rather than using their template, I needed to get corporate approval. And getting corporate approval was going up the food chain, and it took forever. And in our business, you need to be nimble. You need to make quick decisions.
Right.
And I wasn't getting what I needed quickly. And one of the reasons I loved KW was that if it's legal and if it's ethical, you can do it. There's nobody looking over your shoulder. There's support when you ask for it, but nobody looks over your shoulder. And you could brand yourself the way you want to be branded with the company standing behind you.
That's what when I joined Keller, it was same thing as today as I try to make it for, was you're a mom and pop in a big brand's world. That makes sense?
Total.
Right? You're a mom and pop creating your team in a big, so you have everything at your disposal and your needs. So you got all the tools on your tool belt, but you're still a mom and pop. And that's how I looked at it when I joined.
My first experience with KW was somebody invited me to a mastermind. I'd never heard of a mastermind before. I mean, agents sharing ideas and collaborating to grow your business. I loved it, and it turned me on. Also, I went to a KW family reunion before there was a KW Manhattan office. I figured I'll be the only Manhattan agent there. What a great
Nice
way
referrals,
to what a great way to meet people.
That's right.
As it turns out, what I've learned about myself is I'm an introvert. I did not go out of my way to meet people, but I was blown away at the training and education and the sophistication of the describing the market. And I just learned an incredible amount, and I was blown away and wanted to be part of KW
Well,
at that point.
So you joined KW, and You're there for however long, right?
6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years. So you started from the beginning.
Yes.
Were you like one of the original?
There were maybe 20 of us. I may have been agent 20.
So you were, who was running your office back then when it first started? Was that Leslie? No.
No.
She
this-
came way after, right?
Way after. It was
Oh, Adina.
Adina,
Mr. Rest in peace, yeah.
who was, I have great Adina stories. But yeah, Adina was,
The first TL there.
um,
She was awesome,
I-
people. She was, I loved her to death, yeah.
she was great. I actually met with Chris Heller before I joined KW.
Oh, so he was with us already.
Yes.
Okay. He was San Diego, right, Chris?
But he was, he might have been the
Was he
president.
the president by then?
He might have been, which was impressive.
Oh, yeah, he was, because that's right.
It was impressive.
That's right.
Here I am, an agent in Manhattan. I'm meeting with the president
That's right, Keller.
of the company. And my question to him is,
It was him and John Davis, right?
this
At
was
the time?
before John Davis, I
So
think.
he was, yeah, he was the president of technology. He was CTO and CEO, right, Chris? If I'm not mistaken.
CEO maybe.
CEO.
My question to him is, what does the KW brand stand for? I wanted to know whether KW was Neiman, Macy's, or Target. And he said to me, what do you want it to be? It can be whatever you want. Now, in retrospect, that's probably the right answer.
It is, yep.
It wasn't the answer I wanted to hear at the time. I, of course, wanted to hear
Neiman.
Neiman. It's Manhattan. Despite that, I wrapped my brain around my creating my own brand and ran with it.
So you do that, and your business soars, it takes off, right? And then you get big into training.
Big into training and learning how to leverage my business and to leverage people. Gary Keller said,
It's your boy.
my buddy.
I got to take it easy on you here. Can't get in trouble here.
Gary said, if you don't have a gardener, you are a gardener. If you don't have a housekeeper, you are a housekeeper. If you don't have an administrator,
Yeah, the administrator.
you're an administrator. And that just sang to me. And between that and a buddy of mine telling me, hire the best people you can afford, have them do the stuff that you're not good at, the stuff you don't want to do, that I've learned now it's called dollar productive activities. Have other people
Doing that for you.
do that for you, whether it's $10 an hour, $25 an hour, whatever it is, your time is more valuable than that. And that was a lesson that I learned very early in my career. And to this day, it's surround myself with the best people in the industry that I can afford.
So you left KW New York City in 14 or 15? No, later than that. 14?
I'm back at KW now for 4 years.
Yeah.
I was at Compass for 6. So 10 years ago, I left.
Wow, it's that long ago. Oh, yeah, that's right, because you were at Compass for 6. Me and you and Mark Chin met.
No, I was at Compass for 3. So it's not 6 years. I was at Compass for 3 years. I'm here at 4. So 7 years ago,
7 years ago.
I left.
Yeah, that's right. Around 18, I thought it was.
That's about right.
Because I remember when that happened, and everyone was devastated.
Sold my soul to the devil.
You sold it, yeah. There was a lot of, because again, you want what you want. You deserve what you get. You deserve to get Keller, and it wasn't, and again, let's be real. At that time, it wasn't going the way it should have been going.
That combined with the fact that somebody comes knocking at your door,
Exactly.
they love you, they want you, they open the
The floodgates for you. And
dollars wise, and I went.
well, at that time, you were making millions too, right? There was millions,
There was a lot of money involved.
Yeah, so it's, it's a lot different than, being a new agent and doing it. You were running a big team. Not to talk money. I'm sorry about that, but
what's interesting, and you touched on this before when you talk about the capping model. With KW, good agents are only worth the amount of the cap. Every year, the amount of the cap. At every other company, it's every year they're taking 20%, 30%, whatever it is, whatever their company dollar is. And so, whereas at KW, you're in alignment with the company because they're not making money off your back. They're making a finite amount. They're making the cap. At the other companies that aren't on a cap model, they just want to make money off you. And it didn't feel good. I didn't feel as if we were in alignment in our business practices.
So when you came back, which was 3 years ago, 4 years ago now?
Exactly 4 years ago.
I remember that we had that podcast that we did. Not a podcast, it was questions. Grass wasn't green, I remember that?
Yep.
And we talked about just this. And again, I'm not sitting here, we're not knocking any of our competition because all our competition is great in their way. If you want that, that's awesome for you. By all means, go and have it. Our model is just different, right? And it's, the funny thing is they never thought it would work in the city because how do you live with only making, which is the $50,000 cap? That's the biggest question I get all the time from top agents that I meet them. Rich, we love you, we love the model, but how the hell are you still in business? I'm in business. If I wasn't making money, I wouldn't be doing it. So we figured out a way to make money and also make the agents more money by doing this, right? So really interesting.
Well, I mean,
the whole model.
Let's be realistic. It's not only the cap, there are monthly fees. So an agent who wants a desk pays a certain amount. An agent who wants a private office pays a little bit more. It's, you get what you pay for.
That's right.
And it's a la carte. It's not, the whole dinner. So you really can customize
what you want
from your company, and you just pay for it.
That's
just like if I want to spend money in my business to make a video, to shoot a certain photos, to buy postcards, postage, I get to do it. I'm a business person. I don't have to use the company resources. I can if I want to, but I don't have to.
That's right.
And it's much more liberating. And as an entrepreneur, it just works for me.
So you come back to Keller, and
Yes.
now everything switches, and you're doing your thing. What? Let's change gears a little bit here. What would you say the keys to your success are, Mike?
Touched upon it, surrounding myself with brilliance, paying. It's not how little I can pay somebody. It's how much I can pay somebody. It's a different mindset. So surrounding myself with great people and being successful in working with others and through others. I think that on my team, we all have niche specialties. We all have what we do best. And so my feeling about a team is that 1 + 1 should equal 11, where the client gets the best of all of us. So, for example, there are many different skills in the brokerage business. There is marketing. Well, we've got somebody who markets and is amazing at marketing. There is showing and salesmanship that's going eyeball to eyeball, belly to belly with potential buyers and immediately sizing them up and demonstrating how what you've got for them is what they should be buying. There is negotiating skills and being able to communicate to your client and the other side in a persuasive way. There is managing a transaction, going from point A to point B to point C and getting to the closing table. Each of those skills and each of those skill sets, different people have different skills. And on our team, each of our team members is able to leverage the skills that they have best. Now, what's interesting is KW teaches you that typically agents are geared toward working with buyers or working with sellers. And my feeling always is that agents want to work with clients.
That's right.
And the client could be a buyer
Or
and a seller. And so I think that agents want to work with people. And it doesn't matter if they're buyers or sellers. But understanding people's motivations and helping them comfortably make informed decisions is where I do my best work. I feel that where I'm needed and where I get up in the morning and I get excited, the more emotionally broken a client is, the more challenging a client's situation, that's where I want to be. So divorce is a real niche of mine. Estate sales, a real niche of mine. Corporate relocation, somebody is being moved across the country, around the globe.
So before you get into that, I was going to ask you, that's one of my other questions, why use Mike? And why use the Shapot team? And that's what you're getting in now, right? So take me through, why should I use you? Why would I use you?
Because it's a package, right? It's all of the skills that are necessary to be a good broker.
But in divorce, what makes you the guy? Like,
It's understanding people's needs. I often say I do my best work with multi-headed monsters.
Sure.
Getting multiple people with different ideas, different philosophies, getting them on the same page so that they can move forward. It's not only people getting divorced. The happiest of couples may have different ideas about how to negotiate, how to prep a home for sale, how to price something. One loves it, one hates it. How do you get people on the same page? I call them multi-headed monsters. If somebody is alone, they're single, don't they have one person saying, this is a good thing to have, it's a bad thing to have? And helping people prioritize and strategize so that they comfortably make informed decisions. That's what I love.
Where did you get that ability from? Like, did it come over just over time, like growing up with it? Like, what? Is it that you just have a great team in place that does it? I'm sure that's a big part of it.
I have a great team in place. So I often say that I'm an introvert, right? Talking about myself, and here I'm talking about myself. You're asking me questions. It's not comfortable for me.
Yeah, you're like me. Yeah.
I am much more comfortable asking questions, being curious, and by asking great questions and great follow-up questions, I really can drill down and help people self-discover so that they make their decisions. Now, invariably, they're going to say, you're the expert. What do you think? And I can honestly say, if I was in your shoes, given A, B, and C, and given the situation of the market or the economy or where I think things are going, or here's my crystal ball, I will make recommendations, but I want to empower other people to make the smartest choices they can for themselves. And that often means getting warring parties on the same page so that they can move forward. It's empowering others to be their best self. And I don't know how I got there.
But you got there.
But I got there. And I'm good at it. And people trust me and rely upon me. And they don't trust me because I say I'm great.
No,
they trust me because there's an integrity and genuineness that people feel. I make people feel comfortable.
That you do. That you do. I've always heard that. And it's also interesting. Again, I don't like to compare, but me and you are a lot alike, especially like having the back of your people, your clients, plus even the staff that you carry around, like me and you were in court with somebody and we're both showing up, that's pretty cool. Where did you get that background from, just making sure you're there for your people?
I've always been a good friend.
Just a good leader and a good friend, right?
I mean, that's what it's about. Do I wish I had a different personality type? Do I wish that I made decisions more quickly? Sort of, I do. But I'm careful. I'm deliberate. I'm strategic. I'm thoughtful, and I'm slow. And
So I'm glad you said that. Remember that when you're asking questions to me about being slow, deliberate, keep going.
I am all about. My wife is impulsive, and I am not. When we shop for clothing, she sees something that's orange, she buys it. I can't buy a suit the
Especially
first
an orange
time.
one, not an orange one, hopefully.
No, it will never be an orange suit. But I have to think about it. I have to try on every suit, every style, every size, and then I have to go home and think about it, and I come back the next day if I want to buy it.
Wow.
I sleep on it. And
it's a good trait.
some would say yes, some would say no.
It's a good trait in business.
As a business leader, don't you have to be nimble and make decisions quickly?
Sometimes, but it's kind of funny you're talking about this. It's very interesting that we are talking about this. What do you think held me almost back from becoming an OP? What do you think that was? It was what you're talking about. I did not make decisions quick. I'm one of those guys that sits back just like you, especially business, because I always thought you got to make sure you're making the right decision based on that. Every decision that you make can cost you money, especially when you have partners and this. So you got to be really careful with that. So I had to explain my way out of why I was able to do that, and make the decision in a timely fashion, but think about it before you make that decision. Buying market centers and hiring people and bringing them on.
So understanding yourself, your strengths, and
also could be your weaknesses.
If they are weaknesses, you make them your strengths.
That's right.
So example I give all the time, and I mentioned this to you a couple of weeks ago, when I sat at the receptionist desk, director of first impressions, when I took my KPA,
that's what you.
That was the only job that I was suited for in the market center, was to be the director of first impressions. And I loved sitting behind
that desk. You did well. That was awesome that day. Edward was the best.
Radically different from me.
The guys that you do. That's why I love our offices. The things that people do with us. It's that's when we're a family.
But again, being an introvert, it's work for me to greet somebody who walks in the door, a stranger. But if it's my job, put on a smile and make them feel comfortable and ask them a question to brighten their day.
You were talking about this, and it's funny, you met my daughter earlier. It's interesting. She said to me, I think it was yesterday, Dad, when you're home, you're totally different than when you're at work. So I'm like you. I'm an introvert, same way. I have to be personable at the office, right? I have to be that guy that wants to have conversations, but it makes me exhausted. Right? I'm exhausted. And so when I go home, I just want to crap out. I already won you guys over. We're good. You're mine. So
I get it.
It's interesting though. Like when you go in from one place to the next, it's interesting. But I wonder how many people are like us, truly, in our industry. I'm gonna say a lot.
There are people who love parties, right, and get charged up by
Julia. Joking.
And there are people who it gives me hives to go to parties. Yep. I show up, I shake hands,
I
leave. I bump fists, and I leave. But that's part of the work. And if it's work, and I can prepare, and I know what to expect, I do the work.
That's right.
Nobody works. I work harder than just about everybody, just because that's the way I am. And it's all about relationships, right? The superficial, casual, small talk I can do, but it's work for me.
Mm-hmm.
What I like better is having relationships that are
Tight.
deeper,
Yep.
more meaningful.
Same exact way. And that's why I always talk about relationship building. And because, again, it's meaningful that you create that relationship with a person so we can get to the spot where we're comfortable so we don't have to hang out with them as much. That's what it's for. So going forward, let me ask you a few questions because I know we're getting towards the end of this. And this was great. This hour went by really quick. Learned a lot from you. Always do.
Oh, you say that about everybody who sits in this chair.
I do. No, all joking aside, what would you tell? Let's start with this one. What piece of advice would you give to the new agent coming into the game?
I would tell an agent to have a niche specialty, to not be a generalist. You can always be a generalist, but if you have a specialty, a niche, a something unique about you, and you can publicize that to the world, and everybody knows that about you, they'll come to you rather than you have to chase them for business. An example, if you live in a particular neighborhood and you can become the mayor of that neighborhood from a real estate perspective, anybody who wants to buy and sell will come to you because you know all the people, you know all the particulars, as opposed to chasing the business, which I don't think works as well. I've never been one to say social media is how I want to create my business. I'm just not.
It's not you.
I don't believe in it. I think that the relationships need to be deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And referral business is what it's about. Use your sphere of influence to have people be your sales force. Have them, each time, somebody said to me that there should be a brain tattoo. Each time somebody says a certain word, they think of you, whether it's empty nester.
It's awesome.
So someone said, I'm an empty nester. You got to
Right.
speak to Shapot.
Right.
That's his specialty. That's his niche. He gets it. Why do I get it? Because that's who I am, and that's who my peeps are. And so, having a niche specialty is where you can start and you can grow from there. In my world, it was initially doing corporate relocation. That was my niche. And everybody came to me because I was the specialist who could do the paperwork, who could get things sold, who knew the numbers. And from there, I became more of a generalist with a bunch of different niches. And each of my team members has a different niche.
Oh, cool. Good. Last question. Might lead to other ones, but we'll shoot it out of there. Where do you see the market going in the next 6 to 8 months to a year? We were talking about this earlier, you and I.
I see the market as being incredibly segmented, especially in Manhattan. I think that based upon politics, what we're seeing, put politics aside, what we're seeing is the luxury market, the pricey properties are propelling the market as a whole.
Sure.
And I think that the rest of the market, the mainstream market, will catch up. And I think that we will see a normalization of the anxiety out there. I think everything will become normal, and I think that there will be a balance between buyer and seller, and I think that will make real estate brokers that much more important in a transaction, to make sure that buyers get good deals, to make sure sellers get good deals. I think brokers are really key to moving transactions along and helping people understand what they need and empower them to move forward.
Well, Mike, this was great. I really appreciate everything that you're doing for us, and so grateful to be partners with you and working with you. Love you. Thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate you making the ride out here today. If there's anything I could ever do for you, you know where I am.
I'm thrilled to be in
Appreciate
business with you. Thanks, buddy.
You forget that time.